All right, welcome to another edition of the Full Arch Masters podcast. I'm Dr. Ryan Dunlop, and we are here on day 4 of another conclusion of an amazing Full Arch Masters flagship course. I am joined today by my friend and collaborator, Gus Khalil. He is an alumni of the Full Arch Masters program from a couple of years ago, and since attending Full Arch Masters, his career and his trajectory has really been an amazing thing to watch. He has skyrocketed to the upper echelons of our profession, and he is now in a position to bring some amazing technology back to Full Arch Masters, which is what we love. I love for my alumni to go out into the world and trailblaze on their own, find new and amazing technologies, and then bring them back to where it all began. So Gus, welcome to Full Arch Masters podcast, and welcome back to Full Arch Masters. And what are we here to talk about today?
All right, what a great introduction. I mean, thank you so much. I'm known out there as a Full Arch junkie. People call me a Full Arch junkie, and
I just know you as a junkie.
He knows you as a junkie. Full Arch junkie.
I'm just kidding. Gus Khalil is not a junkie.
I'm not a junkie. I'm a Full Arch junkie, but yeah, it works too. So, photogrammetry. What is photogrammetry? People ask me all the time. I've never heard of it. It's a big word. Everybody out there has used photogrammetry. If you've gotten on Google 10, 15 years ago to see how far you school from your church or your grandma's house, that's in a way photogrammetry, right? It's a science called metrology, and it's pretty much measuring distances by photos, okay? So what happened is we have had issues in our specialty, which is pretty much called the passive fit problem, where we end up making bridges that might not fit all the way, and we spend a lot of time and effort fabricating them, and they don't fit. So dental photogrammetry on my product, the Micron Mapper, solves that problem. So there was a problem, and people are aware of it, and now we have a solution for it. Now photogrammetry is not a new thing; it's been out for a while. But now we refined it and we made it easy to handle.
Right.
Where I've designed this where my daughter, me and my group, where my daughter, she's 14 years old and she can do the steps.
Right.
And where they had an issue, we eliminated that step. So now
it's child-proof is what you're saying.
In a way, it's it has to be simple because it was very complex. Now this process is very simple. Okay. The system is easier, lighter, faster. It captures the data. What does it do? Captures implant positions. It gives you that precise implant location, how far from each other. Okay, so we can have that passive fit.
So why can't I just take an impression? Isn't that good enough?
You can. I mean, if you're doing a single implant, honestly, you're not gonna need this. This is not for you. But if you're gonna do multiple implants, what happens is impressions, analog impressions, there's a lot of errors that are gonna be introduced into that impression. Intraoral scanners, even if you scan digitally, you're still going to have some errors. And when you end up seeding that product, it might not fit. And you're not going to know sometimes it doesn't fit. And what do? We just torque it on there and we just hope that it fits, create stress, and then we have all kinds of problems. Are people still doing it the old-fashioned way? Yes.
Very much so.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably more common than not. If you're doing a lot of full arch dentistry, how does this fit into the workflow? When do you use this thing?
So the Micron Mapper comes in after you place your implants, you place your multi-units, okay? So we have these scan bodies, and we're going to show you here in a second. These scan bodies will be placed on the multi-units. They're going to be facing the facial. It can be at a curvature, that's fine. And then before you suture or after, there's 2 different ways. We've done it 2 different ways in the surgeries here. You can take the Micron Mapper, and it's just a camera that takes fast pictures, and it's going to capture the implant positions at that point. Then you have the option of grafting suturing around the scan bodies. You can leave them in there. We have 1 scan body. There's no need to put something else on and off, so it's 1 scan body. And many people might say, oh, what's the difference? It's huge. I mean, we design hundreds of cases. And we know that the problem where you take one thing off and then you put another healing cap on, there's a chance, because patient is sedated, you're busy, it's bloody, there's a chance that there's a piece of tissue or bone under it.
Right.
What happens is that healing cap might be a little off, and when you export that file, no one's going to know. We're going to take that file, we're going to build on that file. And then when I deliver that final design and you print it,
Something's off.
something is off. We have no idea what happened. So
Right.
when we went to a one scan body that stays on there, and then you scan and it doesn't go anywhere, then you scan for tissue, okay, and then you're done. But there's another option you can do, is that you can just scan the photogram with the micron mapper and then take them off and put in any healing cap. Now we have a system, it's an open system, you can put in any brand out there that you're comfortable with, okay? And you can also do the old-fashioned, remember the denture method that we used to do?
Right.
You can still do an impression with a denture and just impress it, and we can do a 360 scan. The software allows you to do all that right now.
So this device, it does one specific thing, actually does two specific things. It captures your implant position to a high degree of accuracy, and it also allows you to relate your jaw position and your sutured gingiva to your implants as well. So it's a divide and conquer style strategy where you're isolating implant position and you're isolating jaw position, and then the lab technician is marrying those sets of data so that they can build something while the patient waits.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. That's the best description of the system. It's simple. Does it scan for tissue? Not this system. Now we have something coming in the future that's going to have a solution for that very soon. The nice thing about the Micron Mapper, it's upgradable. That means we are adding on, it'll be like an iPhone.
Right.
And then a new update comes in, you can just download the software, and then you have the latest software. Because honestly, like you just mentioned in the course, the consolidation, cutting back on all these equipments when you have 3 laptops and all this stuff around,
Right.
And it's just, you want as
It
less
gets a little
stuff
overbearing
crowded,
at
right?
some point. Right.
So we're going to have a few steps that are done with other equipments done with ours very soon, and that's going to be released in probably in the first quarter next year.
Okay, so if somebody's going to purchase one of these devices, they don't have to worry that 2 months later the new version is going to come out and now theirs is outdated.
Exactly. So this one was Gen 1, and I'll show the camera. So this was the first generation, okay? Now we already have the second generation, and the difference is the light, there's a light switch. We've added a handle on the bottom. They call it pistol grip. And we added some bumpers around it, like an iPhone kind of a style cover to protect it from, being dropped. So that's the new addition. But you're right, if they bought our system and then we have a major upgrade, they can just use the same one, right? Can they use it for 10 years? No, things are gonna change.
Right.
But what people requested, the main things, Gus, the system is too heavy. This is 500 grams, as you can see.
Right, it's very light.
It's 500 grams. It's easy. Some people think it's like an old phone. Remember the old phone?
You probably had a phone that big.
I did. Back in the day.
And you lived in Miami, so like Miami Vice. I mean, that's
it was bigger than that. So it's simple. It's it's anybody can use it. So it's a simple system.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not let our audience, wait on bated breath any longer. So let's assume that our wonderful patient, we call him Mr. Skelly, right?
All right.
So he just had surgery, and he is sitting in his dental chair. He looks a little thin and dehydrated, but I think he's going to survive.
Yeah.
Now, the surgeon just finished putting the implants in. He hasn't sutured anything up. The bone is still exposed, and now he's screwed these scan buddies on, and he's going to take a measurement. What does he have to do? He's got to just screw these onto the mouth and then point the camera?
Absolutely. So you're going to take the scan bodies, and they're made out of Tikka-Peak, not PEEK. They're going to take them, there's a screw inside of it, and then you're going to place it on the multi-unit and just hand tight. Don't over tight, just hand tight. Make sure they're facing toward the facial, okay? And then we're gonna go to, I'm not gonna call it software because people have nightmares when when it comes to software. It's just a window. It's just interface that opens up. All you have to do is put in the nation's name, okay? And then you just have to pick, is it an upper or lower? And that's pretty much it. So the new unit coming out, it's gonna have a switch here. It's gonna have an on and off switch, okay? But this first generation that came out, we just plug it in. So I'm gonna plug it in. Yeah, so it's have this bright light, and the light is designed on purpose because of the we want to make sure it captures everything in the mouth if it's a little dart. Okay. At this point, they're gonna hold it like a dart. I'm gonna just pick up the micron mapper, and I'm gonna go to the patient, and I'm looking at the screen, right? So I'm gonna look at the screen, and I'm gonna hold it in that top left window. It's just an estimate of where I need to be. So you've seen it. That's it. I mean, I think it was under 5 seconds.
That's
or
ridiculous.
so, right? And now we've captured the implant positions. Now I've turned the light off. Some people say that's too bright. The new one will have a switch where you just turn it off.
That's nice.
Now I've captured these implant positions. Okay. Previous systems, they have an issue where they just can't find it. It scanned it, Gus, I can't find it. It's gone. It pops up on the screen. Okay. So let's say you had 5 implants and 4 popped up. Maybe something is wrong. This verifies that you have 4. These scan bodies look exactly what we have on the multi-units. Now, if you want to change them, then there's an option in the system where you would just go in there and you will change them to whatever you want. You can start out by, switching out these. Let's say you want to go to a different manufacturer, and it will just change them to that manufacturer. So it's 100% open system. See what happened there? Now
So whatever healing abutment system you're comfortable with,
Exactly.
leaving your patient in for a while, an hour or so, is easily translated into the system.
Exactly. So you can use our scan bodies as the capture implant position and healing caps, keep it the same, or you can just take them out, put in your different brand, and at the same time switch out the geometry, and it can be, we have all the brands out there. It's just a completely open system. At this point, you're gonna take this, send it out to your designer, and he's gonna start on the design work.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but this system allows you to avoid taking any impressions for these cases. There's no goopy impression material that we need to put in the mouth, and you don't have to floss those impression copings together. You don't have to have a custom tray that's an open tray and then you're unscrewing this thing. So this eliminates all of that.
Eliminates all that verification jig, the open tray. I mean, old school guys, and we've done it. We've done hundreds of them. The open tray transfer coping, where you pick them up and then you have to put in the analogs and pour models and verify the model and back and forth.
Yeah,
right? All that stuff that takes weeks and weeks now is done literally in seconds.
Wow.
So it's definitely. And honestly, when we come to events like FAM, we put this stuff to the test, and they really test it out. And if it doesn't work, this guy he's not gonna. If it doesn't work, he's gonna tell me, Gus, this doesn't work. Have a good day.
Yeah, I think that is one of the benefits of our program is I use all the products that we teach on and demonstrate in my clinic for a while before we ever kind of approve them for the course. And so I had a micron mapper for a while, and I put it up against my other methods, which have been great for me for years. And it's welcome on the team. Like it's not less accurate. It's not slower. It's not harder to use. It's all of those things, faster and more efficient and easier to use. So why not? And expose that to my attendees and have them use it. So we got to use it on Monday on a live surgery. It was super easy. Everybody enjoyed watching, and then they got to use this machine on day 2 on their own cases, something like this. And then we got to use it again on our live patient sessions on Wednesday. And so there's just a tremendous sequence of opportunities for people to get their hands on this technology. And people sign up for my courses and they email me and text me and say, hey, give me a list of the equipment that I need to buy before I get here. Yeah. And my answer is always the same. Don't buy anything.
Wait. Yeah.
Wait until you come to the course and use all of this technology on real patients or real simulated patients, and then make a decision by the end of the course what is the best way to go. Because there's lots of printers out there, there's lots of mills, there's lots of photogrammetry units, there's lots of intraoral scanners, and most of them work, and some of them don't. But the ones that do work, they all have little differences. Micron Mapper has differences, and the other systems have differences. But I enjoy using this product very much, and it has a very welcome home here at Full Arch Masters. So, how do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about the Micron Mapper?
I mean, they can, they can come through FAM, and FAM can connect us together. They can come to our distributor. We have a distributor, SIN Dental in Scottsdale. If they go online, sindental.com, that's the distribution center where they can sell it to you. I'll recommend that you come to FAM, try it out, right?
Right.
You might not like it. Maybe it's not for you. You come, you feel it. They're gonna have the new one soon. The new one is coming out soon. We're gonna have the new one here. We're gonna swap this out to a new one. Test it out, feel it, see how it feels, and if you feel that it's good for you, we're gonna work out a special deal for FAM attendees.
Well, yeah, I wanted to say that, like, you had one of these units assigned to every doc that came to this course, and if they wanted it, they basically got to take it home.
Absolutely.
So
I'm gonna make an announcement. I'm gonna every FAM, we're gonna have one Micron mapper with every doctor's name on it in our office assigned to them. Okay. Now it's a little difficult to do because of the high demand. But we're going to do that because FAM has helped us out a lot in education. And honestly, part of the Micron Mapper, the design and all what we have right now, what we ended up with right now, is because of the education and all these surgeries that we've seen here. And Dr. Dunlap, he's a friend of mine, but he's a great educator, and I've learned so much. So, we want to give back something for your attendees, and we want to help them out. So I would like to assign one Micron Mapper for every doctor. It's available. If they want to take it, we'll ship it to their office. When they go back, it'll be at their office, 2 or 3 days later. If they say I want to pass on it, then we'll just give it to one of the other alumni. And whatever else we can do, little things here and there, we're ready to do it. So we want to make sure that when you come to FAM, you see the Micron Mapper, you see the other stuff. And then you walk out of here confident that people like me and Dr. Dunlap have tested all this stuff, and when you're going to go home, it's just going to work. You're going to hit the ground running, right?
Right. And that's the key, is to get the education and then get going. How many times did we say that this week? It really doesn't boil down to which printer you buy and which this and which that. It's how quickly you get going and switching from analog good enough to digital, which is excellent.
Absolutely.
So that's the key factor. And if you're watching this podcast and thinking, man, I wish I could be a full arch master. I wish I could do more full arch cases. The longer you sit on the couch, the more it's costing you. So get off your butt, get to a course, reach out to one of us, get your questions answered, and get going. That's the main thing. Get going.
Because this time it's costing you. There's 3 types of doctors out there, I say. There's the first type of doctor that's give me the hottest toys. I want the latest stuff, right? It's the guy just buys everything and
always gets the newest car.
The newest stuff, exactly. And then you have the guy that's the money guy. Just show me the money. How does this work? Is this going to make me money? Right.
What's the ROI?
Exactly.
What's the ROI?
And then you have the guys that are the research guy. They're like, okay, I want to see papers. I want to see research. I want to see 4 or 5 years. By then, how much business have you lost? If you would have waited for all this
10x
stuff.
with the cost.
Exactly. So this stuff is tested. You have 2 more courses for the year?
At least. I think we have 2 in September, and I think 1 in November, and then we have a lab course. We have an advanced surgery course. So we have about 6 or 7 courses left. Most of them are sold out, but we're already booking into 2024.
Already, wow, a lot of demand. If you come to FAM and you want a Micron Mapper, it's going to be available. You're just going to have your name on it. So join us for the next FAM. We're going to be here. I'm going to be here. We're going to help you out. When you leave, you're going to be a master.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining me, Gus, and thanks for coming back halfway across the world so you can join us. I appreciate that. And thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Full Arch Masters podcast. Again, I'm Dr. Ryan Dunlop from sunny and warm Fresno, California. We are on day 4 of our flagship course. We had an amazing group that learned a ton, and we had a lot of fun. So if you want to get some information on upcoming courses, you can always visit our website at fullarchmasters.com, or you can email us at info@fullarchmasters.com. Everybody have a fantastic day.